Hi everybody, I'm the Reluctant Reviewer, and this is Mr. Tom.
Hello.
And we're doing another car type review, so bear with us. This time we decided to set up the track ahead of time so you wouldn't have to see us struggling with it, but we'll be able to tell you pros and cons. Okay, this is the Lionel Mega Track. It is called Corkscrew Chaos. Now, Lionel, you think of trains. This is supposed to be in between an RC car and a slot car, which is kind of weird how they have it set. It has a curvy track, and the car's right here. We have it all charged up and ready to go. Setting this baby up, go ahead. You can talk about that.
It's miserable. Got an 8-year-old boy to do it and don't help.
Okay, why was it miserable? Why? What do you think the reasons were?
It's very complicated, and I guess until you figure out how to do it, but for the first time out it's very complicated, so I'm never going to do it again.
Okay, we set up the track with the track layout that they gave you in the instructions, which, if you look at the instructions, they are not made for an old person's eyes. So, we're old. And even with our close-up glasses, we had trouble seeing how things were turned and what way they were turned, and it didn't seem to give you a step-by-step on how it was done. So, what would you like to say more about the track?
No, it's fine. It all just snaps together, and I'm sure it's easy once you've done it a few times, but I would say give it to an 8-year-old boy and let him do it.
Okay, this is just the track with the one car. There are sets that you can get to add a second car, to add more different kinds of cool little things that you can make. We have the corkscrew curve. What were the other things that we had?
Well, it's just the track.
Yes, I know, but they had names. Remember?
No.
Okay, I guess it's just the corkscrew support and the hairpin turn. Hairpin turn.
That's the hairpin turn down there.
Putting these together, hooking them together, that was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you had trouble with something else. If you put it in wrong?
Well, they're a little hard to get out, but they come out and they go back in. They don't break.
There's a lot of cursing, you know. Not for me. Okay, so your grade for this whole track before we even try it out is?
It takes up a ton of room.
But you don't have to make it this wide. You can put other parts together and make it tall. Okay, the track has C-clamps. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of them. Basically, it's like a Hot Wheel C-clamp. You can put it anywhere, so you don't have to do this. You can bring a few sets together and make something that's vertical instead of horizontal. We just tried to see if we could do the track that's in the directions, and it took a long time. Okay, so we do not have this held down by any of the C-clamps, just because he couldn't figure out how to do it.
But you'd have to take the whole thing apart and put it back together in accordance to the table, and anyway, it works fine the way it is.
So if you were going to do this one, put your C-clamps together first and then do the track after that on the C-clamps. Okay. This gets charged up. It has a battery, it has a cord, there's a light on it, it has a remote control, and I like slot cars, so I thought it was kind of cool that it has a slot car effect. And basically this is a cross between a tram and a roller coaster. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, you get to try it then. There's an on-off switch. You haven't played with it. Yeah, you can do it.
All right.
It goes forward and backwards. Go backwards. Okay.
You can see why you've got to clamp it down.
But it doesn't do bad. I mean, it stays on there. It says that
Yeah, that was full throttle all the way.
if it falls off, don't worry about it, just put it back on. But this really stays hooked to here. So some people would say, well, what's the skill in that? Because if you went slot car racing, your car would end up off the track all the time and you'd have to be running for it, or you had a runner that would put the cars back on track. So what is the fun of this?
I don't know.
You don't think that it's a lot of fun?
No, there's no, you just hit the button and it goes. Would you just watch it go round and round and round?
But we also only have one car. So if we had two cars and we had them going,
could we have them go in opposite directions and crash?
I suppose you could do that. Okay. There's another component to this, which I don't quite understand why there's another component to it. You put this on top of the control, you hook your cell phone on here, and then there's a strap that you can hook to your cell phone. And you go to megatracks.lionel.com on your browser, and I don't see that it does anything. You can take a picture. Okay, you can take a picture without it being on your control. It has a time clock on it, which you could time it with anything else. You don't have to have your phone sitting here to time a race or to time the lap. There are other track ideas on the browser, so you can get some ideas from that. But when I looked at those, it seemed it was the same thing. It showed you a picture and it didn't tell you detail, and I didn't even by pulling it out a little bit, I still couldn't tell exactly what they used and how they did. Now, the funny part of this is you've got these little, like, what do you call them?
Plastic joiners.
Plastic joiners. It didn't really tell you what you used them for. Finally, at the end, you figured out that we just kind of raised the track a little bit.
Yeah, it's for putting two connectors together when two male connectors together, and this is female at each end, so you just join the two together.
I mean, I still like the track. I think it's really kind of cool. I mean, you can go as slow as you want, and it just stays on there. I think it's cool.
In a second one, you can shoot it through the boot and underneath the other one and get them both on.
Yeah, and there are other play sets that you can get. It doesn't show it on here, I don't think. Let's see. But if you go to LionelMegaTrack.com, or some version of that, what I told you before, if you go there, it will tell you the other kits that they have. You can get more cars, you can get more extra track, you can make it as huge as you want. But the main thing is, as long as you can support it down, then it'll be a lot easier. And it'll be more fun for him if there were two cars going around. One thing to note though, as far as little fingers, you want to make sure your fingers are not where this car is going to hit you. So be careful of that. So if you're doing it like we are without the supports all hooked, watch your hand where you put it so that it's not going to knock into you. Okay. As far as ages, it is 8 to adult, and you do have to buy a 9-volt battery for your control. And that's that. Do you have the Mega Track? Do you like it? Some people were saying that Lionel put this out because children don't like train sets anymore, which is really sad, because I went to the Lego convention and they had a really cool train set and I think everybody liked it, and plus you could have all the switches and stuff. So I don't think that should be the reason that they did this. I still like regular slot cars, so I think they can do that in trains. And what about you?
I think it's too big.
It's too, okay, but if you did it vertical.
I think it takes up a lot of space, and that a lot of kids might set it up one time and throw it back in the box and never take it out.
Okay, you had Hot Wheels as a kid.
I'm happy, I just always am grumpy.
Okay, you had a Hot Wheel track.
They tell me I'm being grumpy. I'm not. This is me happy.
All right, I had a Hot Wheel track. My brothers had a Hot Wheel track. That was spread across the whole room. It would be hooked to a bookcase going down and then doing curves and spinning all over the place. That's just as long. I mean, this is a larger thing. Okay, let's tell you about a little bit about this. This is basically, you squeeze in and you can put it on the track. You're putting it on this curvy part, you know, the circular part of the track. A what?
A lip.
On the lip of the track. You're going to put this on the lip of the track. You open this and then you put it on there, and as long as you press down, it's fine. There is a light and an on-off switch right here. So you turn it off, you turn it on, the light's on. And on the other side, is your cord to plug into the wall. You don't have to take this part off. You can if you had a different car and you wanted to change the top from the base. It just pulls straight up. But for charging purposes, it's right here. There's a space right there. And this little key thingy, I think that, what is that, to drag? It didn't say anything about what this is.
I don't know what that's for.
There's this little...
Maybe to attach another car to it.
Maybe. We don't quite know what that is for. But I looked in the directions. It didn't say anything. So you open that up and you put it on there. And I did it wrong. There. There. Okay, and then it's back on. So it's really easy once you get it on here, and because it stays hooked there, you know that the advanced kind of track layouts you do are going to keep the car on. So you'd have to really make a really difficult one for it not to stay on, which is not the charm for him, but I have no problem. So let us know if you have this, if you like it, what you think of it, would you buy it? I think it's a cute gift. Directions as far as that, you need to be more talented than him.
That's right.
Okay, we're done then?
We're done then. Thank you very much for joining us in our slot car train toy thing.
Okay, bye-bye. See ya.